All right, guys. Thank you again for joining. I thank you for coming back again. And hopefully, this time, my words and my mouth are both matching in the same time. I do hope that they are. So, without further ado, I'm going to call Caitlin_June. She is a fabulous artist. And I want you guys to be able to hear how she relates storytelling to the art that she does. So I'm going to contact her again. I reached out to her to let her know that I was contacting her. Hello, Coach Play again. Like I said earlier, that is my husband. He is a personal fitness coach as well as a life coach. So if you have any questions at all, definitely reach him through his website, which is www.thecoachplay with an I. Not a Y, but an I experience, the Coach Play experience. And right now I am trying to contact her, but it's not going through. We will have a live today. We will. And I know I saw her online because I just got done communicating with her. Sometimes these things happen with technology, you know. We've had this happen before, but I do hope that you guys are having a really good weekend. And if you are writing a story or you're thinking about writing a story, I want you to know that you can do this because, as I always say, I prescribe to what Bob Ross says, the whole theory that anyone can write, anyone can paint, anyone can draw. Thank you so much for joining Bars for Us. Thank you for joining Kevin and the girls. I appreciate it so much. But I want you guys to know that whatever art form that you choose to take, be it with your dolls, with writing, with drawing, with coloring, with sculpting, you have it in you to succeed and do wonderful with it. There isn't really any blueprint to doing it, right? It's what's inside of you that counts. And that's why this interview today and us chatting and us talking about art and storytelling is so important, because anyone from different backgrounds can be able to achieve storyline. And it doesn't have to be in dialogue. It doesn't have to be in like a play script or anything of that nature. It's what you do with it that counts. So I'm going to, once again, try to contact her because I'm pulling it up. And usually whenever you want to invite someone to join, it'll show their name for you to reach out to them. And her name isn't even popping up, which is really, really odd. And I don't want to have to stop the live again, but I may have to. Let me see here. I hope that I did. So I just sent out a request for her to join us, and hopefully it goes through. But yeah, we had a very busy weekend, as you may have seen. Hi, Caitlin! As you may have seen, we had a live on Friday, we had a live on Saturday, and then yesterday I had a Sacred Para project to do that was more in-house. So it's just been very, very busy. Hi, Caitlin!
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how are
I'm
you?
doing well.
Good! I was finding out we were having a bit of problems as far as, like connecting, and then I got offline, tried to correct what was going on with my Wi-Fi, and reached out to you. I was like, why isn't it coming through whenever I'm trying to send the invite?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it came through.
Yeah, I think it might have been something. I don't know what happened, but yeah. How are
Oh my God, you look so good! I have not seen you in so long. It looks. This is my sister, y'all. I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm glad to see you.
yeah.
How's life going?
Life's going pretty good. I got an interview today, and I was doing some work for some people for tattoo stuff. It's been a lot of fun.
Good. Well, I know I haven't seen you in a while. I don't know if you'll be back in Louisville, but nonetheless, I'm hoping that we do get a chance to connect. I didn't tell the kids you were going to be on here, so I'm pretty sure they're downstairs right now, like, yeah, it's
Um,
Caitlin. They ask about you, so
yeah, I came across a picture with all of them the other day, and I was like, oh,
I know. I know. We love you. We miss you. We do. But I'm very, very proud of you and what you're doing right now.
thank you.
So I am. I'm very proud of you. So we're talking about storyline. We're talking about storytelling. And actually, when we talk about Barbies, I had a conversation with you prior to you moving, because she lives out of state right now, guys. So prior to you moving, we had actually talked about getting Barbies. I would reroute them, and you were going to do like the customization with their
That's
face.
right. I do remember that because I get into the idea of like repainting dolls for a minute, but it's kind of hard. It's not as easy as the tutorials make it.
It's not. It's not, but I still have faith in you because you are like fantastic with your art. So I'm like, I have faith that you can
I'm
do
sure.
it. I'm still gonna try. I'm still gonna try my hand with the rerouting, and I trust that when I send you that doll, you can do it.
Right, right, right. No, it looks so much fun, and then like I like am excited about it, and then like when I got like a Bratz doll or like a cheap doll from like the dollar store, and I like tried to I successfully took off all of the makeup, and then re-putting the makeup on was really hard. Maybe I didn't have the right
Well, well, I have gotten some tips on it actually from a few of the artists. They've given me some different tips. So I want to get with you, connect with you probably like this week because I've got some dolls that are just stationary dolls, like the regular fashionistas that I'm not too much of, I really don't use them
hmm
in my storyline. So I may be able to like send those to you whenever you have time. You can, play with them, do some art with it and send it back. I'll put it on my
Yeah,
page.
that's
'Cause I would just love to have some original work. I would just love to have some original work. Let me know what it's like. You know what I mean? As far as like cost or anything like that, we can do that.
yeah.
So yeah, so we talked about this years ago. We talked about this years ago, and now this has become at Sacred Para doing the storylines with the dolls. You're doing your art, and she's amazing. If you didn't get a chance to check out her page, please do. You have work that you do digitally. You have canvas. You have work that you can put on pillows. You have a journal that's out.
Yeah.
You've done work with the puzzles. What has that been like? This journey?
It's been pretty fun, just like expanding my art and trying to figure out different avenues that I can put it on, and like different things that I can do that aren't like traditional art making, that I can like put my artwork on and stuff, and take it to a different like level, I guess.
Okay, I like that. Now, one of the things that I've noticed that you put in your stories and on your timelines, you talk about healing. And one of the things that I emphasize with what we do is that our playtime is not just really us, just playing and reliving what it was like to just be a kid, as much as it is now also about healing. And I believe that's what art does is, no matter what form you do, it's therapy.
Yeah.
So I like the factor being that on your page, you emphasize about the importance of self-care, mental care, doing things that's going to keep you stable. How has your art fit into that, into stabilizing?
I think that I've always used my artwork as a form of healing, and I've always kind of like saw it as a means to express myself in a way that I can't express myself. Like, I'm not really great with words or like articulating myself a lot of times. So I just like to have my artwork speak for me, or like I can pour all of my emotions and my ideas into an artwork, and then I can just like go from there. And as far as like understanding my emotional state, and like I can just do different things with my artwork in a way that brings me healing. And I think that I've done that for a really long time, because I've like struggled with ADHD as a child, and like um you know I just like need that extra like art making ability to express myself like thoroughly.
I like that. I like how you broke that down too, as far as because that's a really interesting way of looking at it. That by doing the art is helping you to connect and articulate what you're feeling
Hmm.
emotionally. So for anyone who's doing art right now, be it with the Barbies or any form of art, because many people who are a part of the doll community are also artisans. You know, they're doing different crafts, or they're doing, you know, digital art, drawing, paint, sculpting, and that nature. So being able to know that this isn't just something that we're doing just to pass time. And I think that people who aren't really artists, who aren't really creatives, to see it as, oh, you're just playing.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything important.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too. But like I think that I've been in therapy for like over a year now, and I think that it's definitely like contributed to my ability to heal myself through my artwork, and like I've just been able to do more exploring myself with like going to therapy and like understanding how to articulate myself a little bit through words, but then like and being able to filter through the noise a little bit through words, but then that attributes to more art making, and it attributes to more of my ability to like break things down and communicate them in an like an artistic sense, and bring it to my artwork.
Man, I like that. I like that so much because with my storyline, I happen to put, you know, you're grabbing from what you
Hmm.
know. You know, as much as you may look around you in order to build a storyline or form your art, you're really coming from what's in the depths of who you are. And I love that, you know, Frida was very, very big on pulling from what was inside of her and what her experiences were. And so that's the same thing with when it comes to like my storyline, my dolls, and then other pages that I follow. With some of those, it comes from a place of, this is what's going on in my life, and this is what I'm putting right here. Even if they're not able to form it in words, that's what's going on. So I do like that you said that, and kudos on going to therapy. You know, I'm really big about therapy. I don't think anything's wrong with it. It just helps you to be able to grow and develop. I just got done talking to at my little Curvy World on Saturday. We were talking about personal development, and that's really the only way to grow is whenever you're examining yourself. And sometimes you need someone who you trust, who's not in the family, who's not a best friend, you know, who can give you that outside insight. So I'm all big about that.
Someone whose job it is to like look at your stuff and be able to analyze and tell you, you know, stuff.
Yes, 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 yes. So I'm definitely I'm with you on that. Sure. I had many years in it, and I plan on going back. I plan on it.
Yeah.
I've got the 10 kids. I've got other, you know, you get stress and stuff, and so you have to be able to talk to somebody who can really break it down to you realistically and help you to not have so much weight on you. You know.
It's just really good to have like an outside perspective, somebody who's probably gonna back and
Yes.
stuff. And it definitely helps if you're like doing the work actually, like if you are not lying, and if you're showing up in therapy and you're doing your work and you're doing like the recommended assignments or whatever, and you're actually like thinking about those things and putting them to the, because I think that a lot of my therapy and like what I was going through therapy contributed directly to a lot of my artworks recently, like within the past year.
I have definitely noticed. I stated earlier, you know, just from the time that we've known each other, I've seen your artwork, you know, just really change and transform. And I would say even the same because your sister does art, and so I'm watching her art kind of like change and develop. And some of the projects that she's worked on, I remember like that was the early Caitlin projects that I used to
Yeah.
see. So I'm able to see now where your art is at. There's almost like more of a light on where you're
Hmm.
at. Your colors are brighter. The art piece itself is just it's just more of a lighter feel to it. And I think that that just has a lot to do with, you know, life happens, experiences happen. And so you're able to grow from where you've been at to now be where you're at. And then, you know, even going beyond that. So how do you feel that your art tells a story?
My art definitely tells a story. I think I learned that pretty early on in college. Like, it's going to tell a story about you as the creator, regardless of like what you think you're making. If you think you're making like some thinly veiled like artwork about like some commentary about something that's going on in your life, I highly doubt that it was that thinly veiled, you know? So yeah, definitely. Um, Wait, what was the question?
How does your art tell a
Oh,
story?
it's gonna tell a story regardless, and I think that it's just been a timeline of like my healing, and it's been like more of like a I don't know what the word is for it, but it's like a dictation of like all of my ideas that I've come across, like all of the healing things that I've come across, like different ways to cope. Um, I'm doing a realities, and
Oh,
um it's like she's being pulled into a wormhole, kind of like a light hole, and it's very like melancholia, very like slow motion to like it's very moody, very theatrical looking, but I think that right now where I am, I'm like very much shifting my perspective, very much like changing my ideas about how things work in my own reality, how I contribute with my own thoughts and like the words that I say and on a daily basis. Um, I think about how those things attribute to what I do and like my artwork and my state of mind, my mental health and stuff like that. So just you know, making sure that that narrative is one that I actually want to tell, or like one that is conductive to healing with other people and stuff. So, yeah.
I agree. I fully agree with you on that. When it comes to, because we are, part of the Barbie community, have you ever heard about the Barbie community, the doll
Um,
community on
a
Instagram?
bunch of ball joint doll accounts, and I was super into that kind of artistry where people are like making their own little eyeballs and you know um, sculpting each one out of like clay and stuff. So I was a really big fan of that.
I really do admire that because it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience. You have to stay the course with it when it comes to creating it. You don't want to diverge into other stuff because you do have to put a lot of time into making and harnessing that
Yeah.
doll to have it manifest. So, yeah, I follow those accounts too, and I'm always amazed by the work
Yeah,
that
they
they do.
do every
Always.
year. They
Hmm?
the hair, they make the clothes, they make the, sew the little tiny clothes. It's amazing.
It is. It is. There's actually someone I just saw. I can't think of her name, but she has one where you like click a string in the back and the eyes close and then it opens and then the eyes go different direction. And it's a ball joint doll. I was like, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Just very, very, I mean, it's a whole lot of creative people on here who just do amazing stuff. Now, were you ever a Barbie girl?
Not Barbie, but I did love those Mycene dolls. I was super into them. And I'm thinking of one. I kind of liked Bratz, but I really like those Mycene dolls.
My scene, yeah, yeah. We have some people on here who are like hardcore my scene dolls. Unfortunately, I guess they didn't get a lot of attention, and I wasn't like by the time that my scene was out, I wasn't really doing Barbies at that time, so I didn't get a chance to get into them as much. So I'm like the original Barbie in the '80s, well, maybe like not the original, but like the '80s and now. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So I love Barbies. Glad that I got back into it. The girls actually got me
Oh
into it.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. Because they wanted to do some doll fashion. And I was like, okay. And just kept pushing it aside. And then finally decided to do it because we had the pandemic going on. And Darren had, took me to the side and said that the girls were talking to him about it. He was kind of like, I'm not going to be able to do it. Your mom can do it. And he was like, no, we give you guys a chance to kind of, spend more time together. And so that's how this whole account really did get started. And I was going to have this account, the Sacred Pair, for my hair. And then I was like, since I wasn't using it, I said, let's just use it for the dolls.
Hmm.
And it's just really been, I mean, like they still do the doll account. Like they got the girls together today, but I kind of took over because it was helping me. Like I said, therapy is self-therapy, like my sister has said before, it does. It really does. It helps. It helps. So we talked about art. And one of the things that we want to really bring into it is that it's important to have an authentic story with your art. Why? Why is it so important to be authentic with your story that you bring through your art, like no matter what medium that you
Yeah,
use?
how would you make art otherwise if it weren't based in something authentic? Like you would just be chasing everyone else's idea about what art is, and you just be doing art for other people. And I'm not honestly about doing anything for other people. I am in a way, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying I'm not making art. Art is for me. It's been there for me through all my childhood. It's been there for me through like some extreme things. And I'm not ever going to be making art from a place where it solely benefits other people.
I agree. We had talked on one of these IG lives. With I talked to someone. We had talked about how people actually, believe it or not, they steal people's pictures. And I think it was like during my last live we spoke about that.
Their art.
Yeah, people will still. They will still because this is our form of art.
Well,
So they will actually steal
people.
other people's pictures.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, I've had
Yes.
people steal my artwork too before. So yeah, I totally know.
Yeah. So they will. They'll take the pictures, and you can. I mean, you can tell one if you're going through their timeline because you'll see like the original work that they may have done, like the first 3, 4 pictures, and then all of a sudden they have a picture that looks like either it came from Mattel or another account that you follow. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate when that takes place. It really is. So that's why I was asking you as far as like how important is it about authenticity? Because some people are going more for either the look
For
or they're chasing numbers, and so they're not really digging.
Well, for authenticity, like the authenticity sake, like you being authentic to yourself and being authentic to your voice, nobody will ever be able to replicate that. And your voice will be very strong. So it's like, yeah, you could steal some art, but it's only going to get you so far because I feel like people can feel and sense when someone's not being truthful or authentic to themselves. So it's just like, do what you will.
I agree. I agree. I do. It's not really worth trying to, like, anytime that I've ever seen it, it's just not worth trying to go after the person because eventually the gas in their train is going to end up, it's just going to stop. Like you say, you only go so far with it. You really, really can't.
Hmm.
Now, when it comes to like your portraits, your own personal work, do you ever name your work? Like, do you have a portrait that you're working on and this one is Sarah or this one
No,
is.
I don't do that. I am very emotionally attached to every portrait that I draw and every piece that I make, but I am not like this person's name is blah 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 because I feel like when I'm making a work and I'm putting all of my emotions into it and I have a vision for it, it's up to me to let it go. And so I guess it's to practice some level of attachment because I feel like I want people to be able to see themselves in my artwork, and I want people to be able to um, feel the healing and feel preferably what I meant for it to feel, but as long as they are getting something from it, is like